Hello everyone. Welcome back to this session of English. In this session of English grammar, we are going to continue with practice questions. And in this session, we are going to cover practice questions of a very important chapter, that is pronoun. Now this chapter is very interesting too. We have already read the theory part of this chapter. Now in this session we are going to discuss some practice questions based on pronoun, and these questions are similar to those questions that have already occurred in our previous year examinations. So let's begin this session. First of all, let us see that what type of questions we are going to discuss today. Well, in this session, we will discuss over here 25 practice questions based on the chapter pronoun. Moreover, we are going to discuss detailed analysis of each question. It means for each question, we will have a solution and we will be discussing each and every solution in detail with the entire explanation that will definitely clear your concepts as well. Okay, so these are the directions given to us for doing these questions. Now the directions are as follows. Read this sentence to find out whether there is an error in it. Now it means that these are spotting errors based on the chapter pronoun. Okay, so these are the spotting errors. And what are these spotting errors? Spotting errors are actually the sentences which are covered or which are divided into several parts, out of which we have to find out the error. It means that part we have to look for which contains error. Okay, the error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. Now as you can see that entire sentence, it is divided into several parts. There is only one part that can contain a grammatical error. Not all the parts will contain that, or maybe possible it is only in one part of the sentence. You cannot find it in many parts of the sentence, okay, or in more than one part of the sentence. The number corresponding to that part will be your answer. Now what will happen, the suppose you find that suppose this is the sentence and this has been divided into A, B and C part. Now if you find the error in this part, second part, so here may be possible second number is given, here may be possible B number is given. So whatever the number is given over here, that number will be your answer, okay, because this part contains the grammatical error. Now it is also possible that if the given sentence is correct as it is, it means if the entire sentence is correct, if it contains no error, it means the entire sentence is correct, absolutely correct, then you have to mark your answer as no error. Okay, then our answer will be no error. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. Now we should not find the errors of punctuation. It means punctuation errors will not be considered error, and if you see any punctuation error, you can ignore it, you can avoid it, because that will not be considered an error. Okay, so here punctuation error, basically we have to look for the pronoun errors. Moreover, we can find several other errors as well, maybe from different parts of a speech, but if there is any punctuation error, that we can totally ignore. Okay, now let's begin the questions. So this is question number 1. As you can see over here, one of the questions he asked me was, who did you travel with? Okay, so this is the question. Now first of all, let us check this question part wise. Suppose this is the part that is one of the questions. Now whenever we have a phrase that is one of the, it is always followed by plural noun but singular form of verb. Okay, so this type of phrase, it is always followed by plural noun but singular form of verb always. Now here if we see this one, the first part, it contains one of the. After that we have questions, which is basically a plural noun, and if it is a plural noun, that means it is absolutely correct. Okay, so this part contains no error. Okay, this part contains no error. I didn't say that this entire question contains no error. I only said that one of the questions. Now this part, first part, contains no error. Okay, now if we come to the second part, he asked me, it means all those questions which he asked me was. Now as I told you that after one of the, we can have plural noun but singular form of verb, which is given over here, that is was. Okay, so this part is also correct. Now if we go to the third one, who did you travel with? Now whenever we talk about any object, we have to use whom, but whenever we talk about any subject, we have to use who. Okay, now if you see the sentence carefully, the question is, who did you travel with? Now this question is asked, this question is ending with, that is a preposition. Now whenever we have the answer which will reply to the question, which will reply to object, there, that means we have to apply whom, not who. Now if you say who did you travel with, if I want to ask, if I want to answer this question, I can say I will travel with him. Okay, so here who did you travel with is, when I come to the answer of this question, a rough answer, I would say I will travel with him. Okay, now if I just make any sentence by myself, if I make any answer by myself, that will be I will travel with him. Now this can be the answer to this question, that is who did you travel with. Now just ignore this part. Okay, just leave this part for a while. If I say that I will travel with him, so who is which word is actually answering to this question? Of course him. And him, we know well that this is an objective case, it means object is replying to this question. Therefore here this use of who is totally incorrect. Instead we should use whom. Okay, because we are talking about object, and object is always denoted by whom, not who. Therefore the correct sentence will be, one of the questions he asked me was, whom did you travel with? Therefore here the answer will be third part, where replace who with whom, because objective case of who is whom, and here we require whom. Why so? There is a trick. Whichever the question is given to you, just try to make any answer, just try to figure out the answer of that particular question, and now just imagine or just analyze that that the answer or the reply to that particular question is given by the subject or the object. If it is given by the subject, then your answer, then your word who is correct over here. But if it is given by the object, therefore you need to write whom in place of who. Okay, for example, if I say who wrote this letter? Okay, who wrote this letter? Suppose this is the question, so I can answer I wrote this letter. Okay, just a rough answer. Okay, I wrote this letter. So for this who has given the answer? I. So I is the subject, we know well, therefore this who is absolutely correct. Okay, but if I say suppose there is a blank. Okay, I need to fill who or whom, whatever. Did you speak with? Okay, this is the question. Now or speak to. Now when you see this question, suppose I say that I spoke to him. Okay, so obviously the word him is replying to this question, therefore we need whom did you speak to, whom did you speak with. Okay, so this, in this manner you can come to a conclusion whether to write who or whom. So here this word who is incorrect, rather we should use whom. Okay, so the correct sentence will be, one of the questions he asked me was, whom did you travel with? Okay, so this who and whom, this really matter a lot, and we have already learned this concept in detail in our chapter or theory of pronouns, so you can go there and discuss it from there. Okay, now here the first question and the solution is 3, because this third part contains error, so our answer will be 3. Okay, now in these type of questions you need not rectify the answers or rectify the questions, but you need to only select or identify that particular part that contains error, and that will be your answer. So there is a benefit, sorry, in case of spotting errors, that you need not rectify the answers. In fact, you have to only identify that which part contains error. Okay, now let us move to the second question. It is I who is to blame for this bad situation. Now whenever we write it is I, okay, after it is we only have, let me tell you, after it is, whenever we have it and after that we have any form of be. Okay, after that we can only have nominative case. Okay, we can have nominative case. Okay, now it is I who is to blame for this bad situation. Okay, now suppose there is a subject I. Okay, Now here we have a relative pronoun and here we need to have a verb. So this verb, whatever verb we want to write over here, it should depend on this subject which is written over here. Now if you see, if you just ignore this word who and if you see this, it is I, and let us begin the sentence with I is. Can you use is with I? No, not at all. In fact, we have to use am. Therefore, the correct sentence will be it is I who am to blame for this bad situation. So, this will be the correct sentence now. Because after I, we can only have am or we can have, but we cannot use are, is. Okay, with I, there is a special rule that we have to use am or have or the plural verbs. Okay, so here we need to write am in place of is. So the correct sentence will be it is I who am to blame for this bad situation. It means the person who is culprit for this bad situation is I. Okay, it means I have made this situation in which you can blame me. Okay, therefore our answer will be second, for where we need to write am in place of is. So this is should be replaced with am, and the correct sentence will be it is I who am to blame for this bad situation. For example, if I say it is I who have done this work. Okay, this is the sentence. So this sentence is absolutely correct. Okay, now you can see it is I who have done this work. First of all, let me clear you why this I came here. Because if we see that whosoever person does any work is known as the subject. Okay, now here which task has been done? That have done this work. Okay, now who has done this work? Of course I. So I is the subject who has done this work. Therefore we have written have, which is the plural verb which is used according to I, and this verb should be used according to this subject only. That is why we have used have and not anything else. Okay, so always whenever we have a structure of it plus be form, after that we should have only nominative case, and after the relative pronoun the verb should depend on that particular subject. Okay, therefore here the answer will be 2, where this is should be replaced with am, and the correct sentence will be it is I who am to blame for this loss, or who am to blame for this bad situation. Okay, I hope you got the concept. Now let us move to the next one. Now this is question number 3. He's one of those writers who has won acclaim the world over. Now the most important thing is to look for the subject, because verb obviously depends on the subject. Okay, also the subject should be used according to the verb, the pronoun should be used according to the nouns. Okay, now if it is written he is one of those writers, it means he belongs to the category of those writers. Which type of writers? Who has won acclaim the world over. Now which writers, or what writers? He is one of those writers. It means he belongs to, he belongs to the category of those writers who of those writers who. Now which type of writers? Those writers are plural. It means he is one of those writers. Which type of writers? Who have one, because here we are talking about those writers, we are not talking about he, we are talking about those writers, and those writers are plural in form. Okay, so we are talking here about those writers, not he. So here the main subject is those writers, therefore this has should be replaced with have. So the correct sentence will be he is one of those writers who have won acclaim the world over. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. I hope this much is clear to you all. We are not talking about he over here, we are talking about those writers, and it means he belongs to the category of those writers who have won the award. It means not only he but also many writers have won the award, therefore this has to be replaced with have, and the correct answer will be who have won. Okay, so second will be the correct answer, because this have should be replaced this has should be replaced with have. Okay, got this? I hope you have got this concept. Now let us move to the next question. Now this is question number 4. all doubts are cleared between you and me. Now, whenever we have the word between, after between, we can only have objective case. Okay, after between, we can only have objective case. So, here, if you see the sentence very carefully, here it is written you and I, which is incorrect because between is a preposition, and after any preposition, we should only have objective case. Okay, we should only have objective case of pronoun. Now this between is of course a preposition, and after a preposition we can only have objective case of pronoun. Therefore this I should be replaced with me. So the error is in part 3. Now here the error is in part 3 where it should be written you and me, not you and I. So this I should be replaced with me. Okay, so this third part will be the correct answer. I hope this much is clear to you all. Now let us move to the next one, that is question number 5. Either of the roads lead to the park. Now here the sentence begins with either. Either is basically used only for two options. Also, whenever we use a structure either plus of, it should be followed by plural noun, and these nouns should be two only, two in numbers. Okay, not more than two. Now after either of, we can only have plural noun but singular form of verb. You should remember this whenever we use the structure that is either. If we use either plus of, after this of we should always have plural noun but singular form of verb. Why so? Because either means one of the two. Okay, so either whenever we use the word either, it means we are talking only about two options, and out of these two options we are only selecting one. That is why we use singular form of verb, because here we are using the singular subject. Either means the singular subject because we are choosing only one of the two. Okay, so here either, after either we have of, and then plural noun but singular form of verb should be used. Now here if you see the sentence, either of the roads, now roads are plural noun but we need singular form of verb, so this lead should be replaced with leads. Okay, so the correct sentence will be either of the roads leads to the park. Okay, so here the correct answer will be 2, where this lead should be replaced with leads. Okay, so either of the two roads leads. Okay, so leads will be the correct verb over here. I hope that you have got this concept. Now let us move to the next question, that is question number 6. One of my desires are to become a doctor. Now here I'm talking about one desire. It means I have many desires, but one of those desires is, suppose I have many desires. Okay, but out of these desire, one of my desire, it means I'm talking about only one of of those desires which I have. So here one means one. Okay, so here it is singular subject. Okay, so here are should be replaced with singular verb, that is. Okay, so because here we have singular subject, we will use a singular form of verb with it. So this are should be replaced with is. Therefore the error is in part 2 where this are should be replaced with is. Now you must be thinking that a few questions back we used this phrase one of the, but after that we use plural verb. But remember, notice one thing in these two questions. Here we are beginning the question with one. Okay, so one is the subject, because if I say one of my friends, it means I'm talking about one friend out of many friends. Okay, but if I say he is one of those, now here we are talking about he, but he belongs to that category. So one of those is plural over there, and we are talking barely about we are talking about those people, not he. Okay, because he belongs to that category. Okay, if I add a subject before it, it means I'm saying that it is actually the belonging of this category. Okay, so this is basically the difference where we need to use is or are. Okay, if we are talking about particularly that subject, for example, if I say he is one of suppose I write the sentence, this is let me write the sentence like this only. This is one of those desires, one of those desires which I really want to fulfill in my life. Okay, which I really want to fulfill in my life. Now if you see the sentence carefully, what you would see that this is one of those desires. It means this one desire belongs to that category of desire that I really want to fulfill in my life. Okay, but if I say one of my desires, it means one out of my all desires. Okay, so this one is actually the singular subject which should be followed by singular form of verb, but here one will be the subject, not this. Okay, so this will be the subject. Okay, sorry, not this one. Here the subject will be these desires, because here I'm talking about these desires, not only one. Okay, because subject is actually that which we are talking about. So here we are not talking about one, but we are talking about all the desires which I want to fulfill in my life. Now let us move to the next one. Now this one is question number 7. Kambli is one of the players who has been selected for the test match. Now again you can see the same question. Kambli is one of the players. Now Kambli belongs to those players who have been selected. It means he was one out of those players who have been selected. Okay, so here one of the players. So the players are the subject over here, because we are talking about all those players who have been selected. So this has should be replaced with have. Okay, because here we are not talking only about Kambli. In fact, we are talking about all those players who have been selected for this match. Okay, so here the answer will be second part, where this has should be replaced with have. Now as you can see over here that this second part contains the grammatical error, therefore we need to write 2 as our answer. So this 2 will be our answer. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 8 now. The fact of me being a stranger does not excuse his conduct. Now whenever we have any gerund, okay, whenever we have any gerund in the sentence, we should always use possessive case before it. If we have any noun or pronoun before it, just before it, it should be in possessive case. Okay, so here me is incorrect, it should be replaced with my. So the correct sentence will be, the fact of my being a stranger does not excuse his conduct. Therefore the answer is 1, because this one part contains the error where this me should be replaced with my. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you all. Now always remember one thing, that whenever we have any gerund in a sentence, and if we have any noun or pronoun just before it, we should to write it in the possessive case only. Okay, now let us move to the next question. Now this is question number 9 that we have to discuss now. Do you know that it was I who has done this piece of beautiful work? Now I have already told you about this concept. Okay, I told you about that whenever we write that it was I or it is I, it should always be followed by verb which depends on this subject. Now do you know that it was I who has done this work? No, this has should be replaced with have. So the correct sentence will be, do you know that it was I who have done this piece of beautiful work? So here this has is incorrect. This verb should depend on I, which should so here this has should be replaced with have, and the correct sentence will be second, because the second part contains the error. Okay, so now let us move to the next one, that is question number 10. Neither of them are good. Now here whenever we have whenever we use the word either or neither, after it we can have of, and after that we have plural noun but singular verb. Okay, now here we are beginning the sentence with neither. So neither of them are should replace with is, that neither of them is good. So neither means none of the two, when we talk about only two and we don't select either. So in that case we say neither, it means not this or not that. So whenever we use either or neither, and if it is followed by of, it should be followed by plural noun but singular form of verb. There's a structure you should keep in your mind. Therefore this are should be replaced with is, and the answer will be 2, because here this are should be replaced with is. That is simple. Now let us move to question number 11. Due to me being a newcomer, I was unable to get a good house. Now in this sentence, you can see being is a gerund before which we should use my, not being. So due to my being a newcomer, I was unable to get a good house. Okay. So here before being, because being is a gerund, and I told you that before a gerund we need to have only possessive case. Therefore here the error is in part first, where this me being should be replaced with my being. Okay. It means because I am a newcomer, it means my position as a newcomer, I was unable to get a good house. Okay. Now let us move to the next one, that is question number 12. The relatives of the deceased threatened to avenge his death. So the sentence, if you see the relatives of the deceased means the died person. Threatened, it means you can say threatened, they gave the threat to another person to avenge means to take the revenge of someone. Okay, to avenge his death. So this sentence is absolutely correct, so therefore answer is no error. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. John, I and Hari have finished our studies. Now here in this sentence, what actually is the mistake? Whenever we have this structure, first person, second person and third person, suppose we see the sense of the sentence or the work which has been done in the sentence. We have to look for the work that or task that has been done or mentioned in the sentence. If it is positive, then we write 2-3-1 rule. It means first of all we write second person, then third person, and then first person. But if the work done is negative or the sense is negative, we use 1-2-3. It means first person, second person, and third person. Now, what is first person? I and we are the first person. Second person is you, whereas third person is he, she, it, or I. Okay, he, she, it, or sorry, he, she, it, or they. Now, first person is I and we, second person is you, and third person is he, she, it, and they. Okay, so this is third person, he, she, it, and they, and first person is I and we. Now, because we want to write the work which is in positive sense, so we should write 2-3-1. That is, first of all, we write the second person, then third person, and then the first person. Now, if you see the sentence carefully, John and Hari both are third persons, and I is the first person. So what we will write here, the answer will be John, Hari, and I, instead of John, I, and Hari. So this John, I, and Hari, this structure will be replaced from John, Hari, and I, because we have to write 2-3-1. Okay. So here the first will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the question number 14. Both me and my sister went to a boarding school. Now it means we are doing some work. What work we are doing? Went to a boarding school. Suppose I separate these two subjects. What will I say? My sister went to the boarding school. That is fine. And if I say I went to the boarding school, that is also fine. But can I say me went to the boarding school? No. It means this me is incorrect. Whosoever does the work is known as the subject. And here the subject is this person. And if it is the subject, it should be written in nominative case. Okay. So this me is incorrect over here. It should be replaced with I. So our answer will be both I and my sister. Also, because my sister is also the first person and this me is also the first person, so we can write both I and my sister. Instead, we should write both my sister and I. Okay, we can write both my sister and I. Okay, both my sister and I. So this can be the correct sequence. Okay, but we cannot find error in two parts, so error will be in only one part of the sentence, so this will be one, so we can write both I. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. Okay, so first will be the correct sentence. Now let us move to the next one. Now this one is question number 15. It was him who came running into the classroom. Again, as I told you, that after it, if we have any form of be, it should be followed by nominative case. So this him should be replaced with he. So the correct sentence will be, it was he who came running into the classroom. Now let us move to the next one. Okay, here the solution is number 1, because the answer is 1, because that part contains error. So here the first part contains error. Now let us move to the question number 16. May I know to who I am speaking? Now again, may I know to who? Now to is a preposition, and after to we can only write objective case. So this who is incorrect, we should write whom. Okay, whenever we have any preposition, any kind of preposition, this preposition can always be followed by objective case. Okay, we have three cases in pronoun: nominative case, objective case, and possessive case. Before every preposition we can only have objective case, therefore after this two we should have whom. Therefore the answer is part 2, because this who should be replaced with whom. Okay, so the correct sentence will be, may I know to whom I am speaking, or whom I am speaking to. This can also be the manner of this sentence. So here the error is in part 2. Now let us move to the next one, that is question number 17. Being a rainy day, we didn't go out. Now, if I say being a rainy day, it means I am a rainy day, but I'm not. If a sentence begins with being, there is a trick. What you can see that being and the next and the subject of the next clause, that is we. Just see whether this rainy day and this we are the same or not. If they are not same, it means beginning the word with being is incorrect. So we should write a word for rainy day, that is it. Okay, so the correct sentence will be, it being a rainy day, we didn't go out. So the answer will be 1, because this part contains error. So it being a rainy day will be the correct answer. Okay, let us move to the next question. Now this is question number 18. He is faster than me. Now, as I told you that now this one is very, very important rule. Let me tell you. Suppose there is a subject and the subject should be written in nominative case only. If I say he is faster than me, what do you think? Is this sentence correct? No, actually the sentence is incorrect. Why so? Whenever we have a subject, it should be written in nominative case first of all. Also, the person who does the work is known as the subject, or the person whom we are talking about is a subject. If in this sentence, if I see it is written, he is faster than me, it means he runs. Suppose we are talking about running. Okay, so I'm saying that he runs fast. I also run fast. Only then you can compare na who can run faster or who can not run fast. Okay, so here is he is faster, it means he runs faster than me. Okay, or he runs fast than I, because we both run, though he runs fast and I'm not running as much as he can run. So here the both the words, these are the subjects, because both are fast. If one is faster, if he is faster, I am actually fast. Okay, but it does not mean that I'm an object over here. So both of these are subject, because we are talking about both the people, and if we are talking about both the people, both the persons, it means both are the subjects. Therefore this me should be replaced with I. So here this me is incorrect, it should be replaced with I. Okay, this concept we have already learnt in our chapter. So here the correct answer will be I. Now let us move to the next one. Now this is question number 19. I and him are very good friends. Again, as I told you, first of all, this him should be replaced with he, because we both are good friends. And also the sequence should be 2, 3, 1. Okay, so here he and I should be the correct answer. So the solution will be part first, where he and I is the correct usage. Why so? Because both are the subjects first of all, and also if the sentence is positive sense, we should use 2, 3, 1 rule. So he and I will be the correct usage. Now let us move to the next one, that is question number 20. One should look after their parents. Now whenever we begin the sentence with one, the possessive case for one should be once. Okay, not his. So one is the subject over here, therefore we need to write once as the possessive case. So it should be once. Okay, because once is the possessive case of one. So the correct sentence will be, one should look after one's parents. Okay, so here the error is in part third, where this there should be replaced with once. Okay, now let us move to question number 21. The newspapers, they admits that advertising sometimes influences their editorial policy. This is very, very simple. The newspapers, they admits, with they we cannot write admits. So here admit should come, because after a plural noun we can only have plural subject. Here we have plural pronoun. Okay, or the plural subject. After plural subject we can only have plural verb. So this admits is incorrect over here, it should be admit. Okay, which is this singular form of verb. sorry, which is the plural form of verb, and admits is the singular form of verb. So the error is in part first, and the correct sentence will be they admit that. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now in this question, the error is in part third, where we need to write are not same as his muscles. So we cannot end the sentence with his. We should need to write muscles as well. So the answer will be third. Now let us move to the next question. Everyone must sign their full names before entering the hall. Okay. Now in this sentence, we can see everyone must sign their full names before entering the hall. So here we have begin the sentence with everyone. It means subject is everyone. Okay. Now for everyone, we can only write singular verb and singular possessive case. So this there is incorrect. In fact, we should replace it with his. So the correct answer will be second. There should be replaced with his. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 24. Prohibition aims at reducing traffic accidents, many of which is caused by drunkenness. Now here it is talking about many of which. Many means plural. Many means a large in number. Okay, or a lot in number. Okay, so many means many is always followed by plural noun and plural verb. Okay, so this is incorrect over here. It should be replaced with are, many of which are caused by drunkenness. So here the error will be in part third, where are caused by drunkenness should be the correct usage in place of is caused by drunkenness. Okay, now let us move to the last question, that is question number 25. I and he have prepared the lesson thoroughly, and I told you that we should write the sequence like 2 3 1. So this sequence should be he and I. Okay, so the correct answer will be first, where this I and he should be replaced with he and I. Okay, according to the concept that we have already discussed in our earlier questions, that is, if the work is positive, we need to write 2 3 1 rule. Okay, so 2 3 1 means you, he and I, and here we only have two persons, so we would write first of all the third person and then the first person. So he and I will be the correct sequence of writing the two subjects. Okay, now this was the last question. I hope all these questions were clear to you all, and you find this entire session helpful. And if you want to learn more concepts about it, be connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.